That we will begin our public comments. I know that we had something that Councilmember Bruce Whitaker was going to speak about.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I understand that we have requests for 36 or more individuals to speak, and perhaps it'll wind up being a much higher number. For many of you who were here at the last meeting, it went to the wee hours of the morning. What I'd like to do is make a motion that we limit public comment to 2 minutes per person, and that would allow the greatest number of people to be able to address the council.
I'll second that motion.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we will have public comments for 2 minutes, and before we begin, I want to begin our council meeting tonight by acknowledging the events of last week at the preliminary hearing regarding 2 Fullerton police officers' involvement in the death of Kelly Thomas. Again, we offer our sincerest condolences to the family, friends, and relatives of Kelly Thomas. I know this has not only been heart-wrenching for Mr. Thomas, his friends, the Kelly's Armor, but also for us here in our city, for those in the audience, for those watching on TV. This has been heart-wrenching watching the video last week. It's been a challenging week, challenging year, and with that, we want to hear what you have to say. We want to hear your comments, but we also want you to hear others' comments. We want you to follow the decorum of our council, and we ask you to be able to listen to others, make sure that everybody can speak, and that we maintain order tonight. And with that, we will begin our public comments.
The speakers 1 through 5 would like to line up along the wall, except for number 1, who's going to start.
Yeah! Love you,
I realize what Mr. Whitaker just said, but I'm requesting an extra few minutes tonight, if I may.
Second.
I will allow that
Thank
for
you,
Mr. Thomas only tonight.
Thank you. We'll see if I can get my emotions out of the way and get started here. It's been very emotional. The preliminary hearing was horrible. The first day was horrific. That's where the media, the public, the world actually found out what I've been holding inside for about 8 months. The gasp that were in the courtroom, from seasoned pros in the media to about the 45 members or so of Kelly's Army and people in attendance, was horrifying in itself. And that was on just the first baton strike from Wolf. When Ramos broke Kelly's ribs with a knee, the gasps were again filling the courtroom, and the judge had to stop proceedings. It was a very tough week. Very tough 3 days, as I know you can imagine. Before I read what I have started here, I do want to let everyone know that yesterday I received 2 phone calls. The first one I received was from Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones himself had a hard time talking to me, not because it's me, but because of what he had seen and experienced. I appreciate your call, sir. He let it be known that now that he has seen the video, he is also horrified by this. The same condolences came from the second call, Mr. Pat McKinley. And I thank you for calling. Mr. Bankhead, you can get my phone number from the rest of these people up here. Now that everyone has seen the evidence, This is the first time you've ever heard me use this word. I demand you see what this has done to me? I can't even talk. I demand that Joe Wolf be terminated.
Yes.
And charge.
I demand that Joe Wolf be terminated immediately. He, as well as Ramos and Cincinnati, should have been suspended without pay pending further investigation from the beginning. Their actions of murdering my son were kept secret from the public.
Yes.
And condoned by Chief Sellers, Captain Hamilton, and Captain Hughes, as they watched the video many times and knew what they did. They also allowed all of the officers to remain on duty for 6 weeks until Kelly's Army raised so much hell with our protest and the actions of Bruce Whitaker. Then they were finally put on other assignments. Again, we protested so that they were finally put on paid administrative leave, and they're still getting paid, everybody.
Jeez.
Shame.
Because Sergeant Kevin Craig, Corporal James Bladney, Officer Ken Hampton, and Officer Joseph Wolf did nothing, and this is through testimony in the court of law, to provide any first aid or treatment to Kelly. Instead, when asked by the paramedics, what do we have? This is the fire captain, paramedic that walked right up to the officer and said, what do we have? Ramos showed him a scratched elbow, as referred to in the media now as his boo-boo. None of the officers said that Kelly needed help until the fire captain said, who's that? He seen Kelly laying in the gutter in a pool of blood. None of these officers did anything for Kelly or even alerted paramedics that he was there. I wanted to make sure this is a true statement, so today I read through the transcripts again twice to get it accurate. Now that you, the City Council, have seen the video, you need to take charge of the city and its police department. You can no longer accept whatever the chief or acting chiefs tell you as the truth. You can no longer let the policeman's Bill of Rights stand in the way of doing what is required of you and what is morally the right thing to do. I, as well as the rest of the world, am not accepting the city's attorney's answer about Jay Cincinnati and how the city has allowed him to be hired and drive Code 3 for 10 years with one eye. The ADA, American Disabilities Act, excuse does not apply here. Common sense does. And the fact that he was hired as a favor and not by equal opportunity makes all of you guilty of violating the PD's and the city's policies and procedures. Folks, you allow this to happen and remain in effect.
Shame.
I want to peacefully move forward from here. I really do. We need to rebuild together. You've heard me say that since day one. I consider the 2 phone calls I received as positive steps of moving forward. And I will continue to do so. Kelly's Army will continue to do so. Take charge of your city, take charge of your police department, and know what they're doing, and use some common sense. Now, I know there's a lot of angry people that want to say something. There are angry people across the world. There are people on the East Coast, the Central Plains, all over America and the world listening to what I am saying right now. They are watching this on a live feed. Everything that has to do with this city from now on is all about you, because I really think you're going to start taking charge. I would really hope so. Thank you.
Thank you.